for me, it kind of has that both is what I think is cool, but not for me. Like, you know, I may think that button-up shirts is cool, but I didn't write a song about it. You know, but I think that particular genre of music or that particular lifestyle or that particular point of view is cool. So I would do something about that. But I think the character himself, the cool, is made up of a lot of different things, you know, of what people think are or what is cool, you know, but kind of put together in such a way where it's kind of like, you know, it's really kind of uncomfortable, you know, to accept. I think my sound comes from a lot of different places, and it could emulate and it could fit into a lot of different molds. But there's definitely a Chicago inspiration there. Singles record called Superstar. It's a nice record. It's a really good record. The first time I heard the beat, I knew it was gonna be a single. As far as collaborations, there's Uncle, Patrick Stump from Fall Out Boy, Chad Hugo from the other half of the Neptunes. Bulk of the album is Soundtrack. Same kid who did Kick Push and did Superstar. And bulk of the album is him. So there's not like too many big names on there. Just relationships. I always wanted to work with Uncle. Patrick is a good friend of mine, and he just had a record that was dope. Chad always wanted to work with me, and I always wanted to work with him, so that opportunity kind of presented itself. And that was really it. It was really that informal. You know, it wasn't an A&R situation or, you know, a really big need for me to go outside and get this person and that person. It was more just flight of fancy. All done in Chicago. And the Attic, which is the studio that my main engineer G-Ball owns, which is actually his house. And we recorded a bulk of the album between both places. The Attic was the same place I recorded Food and Liquor. It's cheaper, so you don't feel like you're burning a lot of money. So you don't feel as rushed to go into the studio because you have the dollar sign of the ticker clicking and the engineer who's on the clock and everybody looking at that clock, and so you feel kind of rushed. When you're at home, you're home. You know, you record when you want and not take 2 weeks off, but it really doesn't matter because you're at home. Nothing too much, pretty bare. Some snack items, and you know, the mood doesn't really have to be too romantic, anything like that for me to be creative. Honestly, just like a beat, some speakers, and a pen and some paper. No, I don't think you can have a formula to success. I think there's different. I definitely understand that there's different pieces what could attribute to you having more success as opposed to less success. But even that in itself is, with the state of music, is unstable. So there's no like, if you go to that dude, you're gonna get a hit record, or if you do that, you're gonna get a hit record, or if you make a song like that, you're gonna have a hit record and be successful. You know, it's really hit or miss. You know, so I really just try and stick to what I'm good at. You know, and just build on what I'm good at, as opposed to, yo, we should try this now, throw this in the pot and do this. It's like, nah, let's build up upon the foundation that we have already. The end, when I don't have to make it no more. Finishing it, having the final product, and just done with it, like here. Because then we can go and really do what I really enjoy, which is to perform. I don't really have too many on this album. There's a song called Paris, Tokyo that I really like, but I know it's nothing like, that's like so blown away by my own stuff. I was like, yeah, that's the best. But Paris, Tokyo is like my favorite song thus far. The same message that I have for my career overall, from my first album to my last album. You know, as long as it pushes someone into some positive realm or into some mode to do something positive. Gwendolyn Brooks, Cornel West, not really too many musicians more actual people in the world. Cornel West said, if you really want to affect change in the world, you have to make those things which are cool now uncool, because the cool things are the things that are destroying us. So that was kind of the inspiration for it. And then Gwendolyn Brooks had a poem called We Real Cool that was kind of like an inspiration for the album, which kind of set the tone and the direction and gave it kind of like a purpose. And so those two people were really kind of loosely influential, but as far as the creativity and the song structure and the beats and all that stuff, that was just like, you know, then the Lupe's next album, you know, as opposed to, oh, I got this from Jay and I got this from Kanye and I got this from, it's just like, no, I just like Lupe's next album. No, for me it's more just the lyrics. You know, Soundtrack is good at what he does, so I'll let him do what he does. I don't know how to make beats. You know, I know it sounds good and certain elements, and I'll ask for that stuff to be put in there. But I just really stick to just the writing, conceptualizing. Not really. There's not like one set demographic that I try and go get. Because it's still a little too, the waters are still kind of unfamiliar. You know, it's still kind of, I go to one show, it's all this crowd, another show, it's all that crowd, and all this crowd, and all that crowd. You know, so it's really kind of undefined as far as who I'm actually talking to as of yet. I think a few more albums, well, after this album, we should know better of who's who, and then I don't know what to do for this person or what to do for these people, you know. Because you find yourself, you think you're doing a record for those people, and they don't like it. They're like, we don't like that record. But then the other people like it, and you're like, oh, so you like these records? I'm like, yeah. So we're still trying to figure each other out. Performing is more, it's you get the instant interaction with your fans. It's the adrenaline rush and the energy and the love is right there. You know, studios are just, you know, they're bland places where there's no kind of energy, there's no, you know, like it's just your recording, it's you and the mic. So this is kind of the drab period, the more monotonous period. But when you're on stage, it's loose, it's flowing, it's free. You can't go back. You know, if you mess up, you gotta just keep going through it and make up for it at the end or whatever. You know, it's just that excitement to be there and have that audience. Just try to get a little focused, become less busy with other stuff that was going on around me, and just really get focused into the story. That's basically it, nothing too life-altering. Yeah, it should. I think it's primed for that to happen. It's just a matter of getting the story solid. Because one thing to just have visuals and music, it's another thing to really have a really condensed, really point A, point B, point C, end, you know, kind of situation, which it lacks right now.